Hi guys, Aegis here. So today we're here with another Hong Kong WGP V-stand match. So this time we will have a Bermuda versus Gold Paladin match. Very interestingly, and well, for some reason I don't have a Gold Paladin fight video actually up with the new support, because one reason is that I don't even have a deck, because I only play ASO, and my friends want to make Gold Paladin, so he basically keeps all the stuff. So I don't even get a chance to meet him sometimes. So there isn't actually one, and lucky when we are getting into top 8, there's a Gold Paladin player fighting Bermuda, and I think it's good to show off because Bermuda is new meta, and Gold Paladin isn't like a older meta, but they're strong. So I think you can see how they react against like the new meta right here. So that's basically what I want to say before the match begins, and we will soon have the top 4 and finals too, but it might not be me talking, but we'll see. So now they start, and you can see it's a Coral versus Gold Paladin, and I spoiled it already, it's new support, and you should see it in the thumbnail. So let's enjoy the match. For Coral, this build is actually interesting because you can see here the Bermuda player also run with fear, so this deck is actually quite interesting because it doesn't only rely on Coral, which will always gain crit by soul blasting enough and gain power themselves by soul blasting, and they can keep refueling the soul, but you also have a chance to use fear. And now first we see the Grade 2 Coral, Soul Charge 1, and then if you have Vanguard with Coral name, Soul Charge 1 again. So you quickly basically have Grade 1, Soul Charge 2, and a Grade 0, so that's 4 already. Which when you ride on Grade 3, you can simply find a way to Soul Blast 4 and gain crit for all your Corals. And with your air, it's just there if you can't push enough with crit and you need restand, then you can just keep all your copies of Reverie in hand and do all the stuff. You can see here, Bermuda can actually push very hard early game. The Gold Paladin player just lucky got a heal trigger. Once you get into like topic tables, you start to think a lot. And the Gold Paladin player is actually thinking, what's his attack? He's actually attacking Regard because he saw a Refair on play, so he do afraid the Bermuda player will ride a Refair first and use the counter blast to discard and draw, and then do a lot of things and withstand, which can actually hurt. But now we see the Grade 3 Coral in play, which I think is quite common play with this build, because you want to use Coral with crit to push early game, to put your opponents on like 4 or 5 damage, and then if you have enough Reverie, then you can rewrite Reverie and keep restanding, keep hitting, make sure your opponent is dead. And since Coral can get 15k by soul blasting, so you can actually put the force marker to Regard, make sure they hit harder. So So you see the Gold Paladin player actually try to protect himself if he can use the less shield to guard, instead of gambling trigger to save himself, because it's really hard to protect yourself after if you take too much damage. So he's using the dice to count how many units he called. There's 2, and he's using the Sacramo skill to make the third count. And I think his hand is actually quite bad. That's why he needs to call the front trigger. So now Aquafel is going to attack. To put all your regas into the soul and not get the same number of cards you put into the soul, and you can call as many, then shuffle your deck. Which in here he's actually calling 3, all 3 of them, but he's just thinking where to put. And here we actually got a little problem, and you will see the subtitles very soon. He draw the card, and then you see he take his deck and trying to shuffle, which is the point where we have the issue, because for Aquafel, you actually have to call and shuffle first, and then you use Lindrin to Soul Blast and draw, which is actually draw first. So in this situation, we have to call a judge and find out how we should resolve this. Because I'm mainly taking care of the camera, so I'm actually letting other judges to do the thing. So they are actually asking to see if both players know which card in the Gold Paladin player's hand is actually drawn, but it's actually quite hard to identify which is which, because he might just put the card into different position and you never know. And I don't think the Bermuda player noticed this error too. So what the judge call is to randomly put one card back to the deck and shuffle. Make sure the thing is shuffled first, and then you draw it by Lindrin. So here's a draw. The meta is C1, 2. Okay, so he decided to put the regard instead and not killing the Rapier. Now he trying to attack the Rapier. It's basically the ASO can't hit anyway. Can't hit Vanguard, I mean. And then try D9K attack. Also on Raygun. So he's trying to limit his opponent's counter blast and waiting for a chance to do a full blast attack. Which you can see in the next turn what he actually did with comboing Aquafel by using his skill to put Regas in soul. Of course, if you notice it, then great. If not, then you will see very soon. So now coral using skill, counter +1, so +2. Then you can return one normal unit from regard circle and drop zone. So if you get a coral to hand, and you get 15k power, which actually fit this deck very well, because as soon as you can find a coral, the other card doesn't matter, and you can keep recycling your Riviera to hand if you want to. Like if you can get 2 Riviera, you can just forgive, like to give up the 15k power for next turn. Another great one in play again to soul charge. So the grade 2 is soul charge again. So coral also get 15k power, and because there's soul +2 from grade 3 coral Vanguard, and soul +2 from coral grade 2. So now the grade 3 coral will give all your coral 1 extra crit. So basically all 3 lines are hitting 2 crit as a start. So it's a 23 grade 2 crit. For this turn I put all the power and crit here, so it's easier for you to see, and also easier for me to remember what's going on. So you can see that the Gold Paladin player actually keep guarding very very hard. So here's another crit, 53k, because Param get 10k power if you soul blast 2 or more this turn with 3 crit. So you need to put a lot of hand to actually guard, and he actually did guard for it. And you can see he ride the Platinum ASO, and this basically is the reason why I say the Algofail is helping this build, because first we used the full Caliphate Dragon, so +1 to core unit, but unlucky he called another trigger again. It's like the Sagrimo, and it's a heal that's quite hurt. And Platinum ASO now uses a skill because he ride and he used Algofail to put 1 grade 3 into soul, so he can actually activate the skill to do the effect 2 times. So first one, calling 1 and put a front, and loading the second one, call another one, and didn't get a trigger this time. And like his opponent get another trigger, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, we see another Rapier, and if you look at the drop zone carefully, there's already 3 Rapier. So basically the Bermuda player have to give up on the Rapier multiple attacks combo, because it takes so much resources to get all 4 copies back in hand, and 1 is in crit damage, so it's totally not worth it. And in here, the Bermuda player actually thinking where he should put the force, because what I think is you put it in left or right, regard circle, because Vanguard can get 15k power. So it's only depending on if your regard can build their power up. If not, then you focus 2 force in one place and make sure that side is back 2. pick up another coral and play the great one again. And grade 2 is being called again, and Param is there again, so the left side is going to be quite big, and all have crit again. So this time it's pretty 3k with 2 crit. Vanguard is 36. And the left side grade 2 coral is 43. All with crit 2. So this turn will be a hard one. Which also explains why the Gold Paladin player is guarding early game, because he's likely not going to block all of these. He's taking, and yet the Bermuda player get a crit. He put them all to regard, and no trigger for Gold Paladin player because he called his trigger. So yeah, he is like 53k with 3 crit. And he don't have enough hand to guard and just take it. So how do you think about this match? I think it's quite interesting. Even though the Gold Paladin player lost, but he did play very well. You can see what matters is basically the trigger luck on both sides. He called triggers, and basically like his first attack hitting Vanguard, his opponent get a trigger, and it's a forced clan, so that happens. But overall, it's a very good match, and I hope you enjoy it. So here comes the end of this video, and let me know your comments of this fight. And basically, just looking forward to my upcoming videos. It might be a WGP review, or maybe if I can get the guys to help out with the top 4, because someone else is actually looking to commentating it or not, so I'm still letting them to make the decision. Yeah, so basically you will see one of these videos the week after, and then the week after that will be the new set opening, so also looking forward to that as well, because of course I will be unboxing, and we can see how the new deck's working. Yeah, so here comes the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Signing off.